I've always been a really hardcore history buff, and one of the things I really love about studying history is how you can take parallels between what was happening in the past and what's going on in the present and really learn from the similarities and the parallels that you get between the two. For example, with Weimar Germany and the degeneracy that was being pushed in that country at the time, and also what's going on in our country today with the really strong push for degenerate shit here. One of the main similarities between the two things are the similarities between the people who were pushing the degeneracy in both cases. Hey, speaking of which, you know what'd be a really fun thing to do? Go and Google search the Frankfurt School and look in the little box that says notable theorist and open tab all the names and then check and see what their ethnicity is. That's a nice little fun little project that you can get into later. I highlight that to bring us to the main subject, which is, of course, typical. We have more saber rattling in the Middle East. And of course, again, it's Iran. And supposedly Donald Trump had to move warships to the a warship to the Iranian coast because apparently they made threats against us and they were going to attack us or something like that. He wouldn't say what the threats were or what the validity of it was. He just said, it's happening. Trust me, it's happening. Trust me, it's happening. But then this came out. Scoop. Israel passed White House intelligence on possible Iran plot. Kind of makes you think, where have I seen this before? The Washington Post picked up on this as well. A leading Israeli journalist, Barak Ravid of Israel's Channel 13 News, reported Monday that Israel had passed on information about an alleged Iranian plot to strike U.S. interests in the Persian Gulf. What does that even mean? To strike U.S. interests. An Israeli embassy spokesman declined to comment on the report. It's funny how first they're suspiciously vague about it, and then they got all suspiciously hush-hush about it. Isn't that weird? But still, I'm sitting here thinking, I feel like I've seen this before. Where have I seen this before? Oh, here it is. Fox News. Israel was wrong about Iraq weapons. What more do you need to say? I mean, come on. You don't have to read the article. But here's something real nice and spicy from The Guardian. Israel knew Iraq had no WMDs, says MP. A prominent Israeli MP said yesterday that his country's intelligence services knew claims that Saddam Hussein was capable of swiftly launching weapons of mass destruction were wrong, but withheld the information from Washington. Yeah, that's right, you daggum millennial snowflakes. I stand with Israel, and I can't wait for us to go bomb another Middle Eastern country for no reason, and then bitch and whine when our government uses it as an excuse to flood our country with migrants. Yeah, that's right, stand with Israel. Take that, you millennial snowflake. I've been watching lots of InfoWars, and I'm kind of woke, but it seems like with all this stuff and these problems in their country, it seems like there seems to be some kind of missing link in the chain. You know what I mean? I mean, daggum, like as if there's some kind of force working in the middle that's sort of controlling all this stuff going on in our country and pushing all these agendas. Like there's a middle force cooperating the whole thing, but I just can't figure it out. All I know is that I'm a patriot and I love Jews and I love Israel. That's right. Yeah. I mean, come on, how many times can we go through this cycle over and over again? Even now you're seeing people who are hyping up about war with Venezuela. Yeah, that's right. We're going to go get them Venezuelan socialists. That's right, Snowflake. We're going to take that lives. Socialism doesn't work. So we're going to go and get involved in what's going on in Venezuela. Because it's totally going to be a great thing. And here's where I really have to call out Nick Fuentes for his comments on Venezuela. Because with his, again, You see the same Zog bullshit pushing for the Venezuela hype, just as you saw in the Middle East. For one, Al Jazeera, Venezuela's Guaido says he's working to restore ties with Israel. How convenient. YNetNews.com, fearing for Jewish community, Israel silent on Venezuela unrest. That's like saying you're keeping quiet about it, but then not keeping quiet about it at the same time. From Haaretz, how a tiny and large Jewish community in Venezuela directly impacts Trump's clash with Nicolas Maduro. It's funny how these guys can manage, despite being just such a tiny percent of the population, and everywhere they are, they're able to cause so much trouble all the time. Also from Haaretz, Venezuelan Jews accept Israel's recognition of opposition leader Chief Rabbi says. And this one's a real doozy. Invoking Auschwitz liberation, Venezuela president welcomes Israel recognition. Referring to Soviet troops' victory, Juan Guaido thanks Netanyahu for supporting him, just as our country is also fighting for its freedom. It's unreal how like in your faces is. It's like a meme at this point. And just sad to see Nick Fuentes, who's usually so good on stuff going on in the Middle East, miss all of this stuff. It's very obvious. I mean, everything, you see the statements from Ted Cruz and the other guys, they literally just rehashed the stuff that they're saying about Syria and Libya, but just changed the name of the countries. That's all they did.
Hello, this is the Bogdanov Twins. Thank you very much for watching this video. Remember to check this channel out on BitChute, and also check out the signed vaporwave account, Sarah Sanderson Socus Pocus memes. And also we are now on Gab, which has probably got us on the watch list somewhere.